What's up guys, Davey here from PhoneBuff.com. In this video we're doing a speed comparison test between the HTC One S here on the left against the Samsung Galaxy S3 here on the right. So we'll go ahead and get started. First test will be the boot up test. Obviously I have both of these guys turned off. I'm just going to press and hold the power button at the same time. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to hold it for about 3 seconds and then let go. Alright, so that should be good enough. And we'll go ahead and let these guys boot up, see which one actually turns on first. While they're loading up, I'll let you guys know that they're both actually running on the same Wi-Fi network, and also the browsing history and cache has been cleared out on both browsers, so it'll be nice and even in the browsing speed test. Also, I'm going to be loading up a couple of applications to see which one loads up first, just to give you a general idea as far as the experience you'll receive from each device. It's worth noting that both these guys actually have the same processor, so you can see the Galaxy S3 actually finished up first. Main difference between the hardware is they're running both the same processor, which is the Snapdragon S4, but this guy only has 1 GB of RAM compared to 2 GB found on the Galaxy S3. So you can see the boot up test. Obviously the Galaxy S3 won. It's been done for quite some time now, and I've been able to get into the phone and load things around. The HTC One S is still doing its thing. There you go. Looks like it's almost done. There you go. Let's go ahead and unlock this guy. Now you can see it's still loading up HTC Sense, so it gives you a little bit of an idea as far as the boot up time goes. But let's go ahead and start the application load speed test. So we'll go ahead and load up. For the first application, we'll do Score Center. I'm just going to wait a couple of seconds because I want to make sure that this guy actually finishes up loading everything. So, alright, that should be good enough. Let's go ahead and start up Score Center. So 1, 2, 3. And there you go. You can see that the Galaxy S3 loaded it up, followed by the HTC One S. And there you go. So we'll go ahead and hit home. Now I'm not going to close these guys out of the background because I really want to show you, the hardware difference here. They're both running Android, so no need to close them out in the background. And I mean, honestly, most of the time we're not closing our apps, all the time anyway. So really want to show you the experience you'll receive from both phones. And obviously, this one's going to have an edge with an extra gig of RAM. Let's go ahead and open up Flickster. So 1, 2, 3. And again, you see the splash screen first on the Galaxy S3. That one's pretty close, but obviously this guy was maybe a second ahead of the One S, so we'll go ahead and back out. So far, the Galaxy S3 is winning in the app speed test. Let's go ahead and load up another one. Let's load up Temple Run. So 1, 2, 3. And there you go. You can see it's just maybe a second ahead of the HTC One S. So really, I mean, not that big of a difference here. So let's go ahead and close these guys out, or should I say minimize these guys. Let's go ahead and try another application. We'll do Google Earth, or actually let's do Google Earth. So let me find Google Earth. I think I made a shortcut for it here. Yeah, Google Earth and Google Earth. So we'll go ahead and tap on it at the same time. 1, 2, 3. And again, you can see pretty much the difference seems to be a second. Not sure if that has to do with the RAM difference or more or less maybe just Samsung's optimizations. Pretty much the same thing. Let's go ahead and zoom in on Las Vegas. So type in Las Vegas really quick. Las Vegas. Basically, I just want to kind of zoom in on the city just to show you how smooth each one is. So we'll go ahead and double tap on here, double tap again. All right, and same thing here. Double tap, double tap. You know what, actually, let's look at the same hotel and make it a little bit easier. Let's look at the Stratosphere on both. So let's zoom out a little. Where is it? Stratosphere, Stratosphere, there it is. Alright, so this guy's loaded it up. You can see the new Google Earth here too, but I just want to zoom in and zoom out. So while that one is loading, or I don't even think it registered, but I'm going to go ahead and push this guy out of the way and quickly zoom in and zoom out. I just kind of show you, how smooth or, laggy it is. So you can see there is a little bit of choppiness with this phone. I'm trying to, zoom in and moving around is kind of choppy, but isn't all that bad. We'll go ahead and do a 3D spin of the Stratosphere. And you can see, I mean, it's not bad, but it is pretty choppy, I'd have to say. Let's go ahead and show the Galaxy S3 now. So for some reason, it just didn't register that I wanted the Stratosphere. So let's try that again. Alright, so I went ahead and typed in the Stratosphere because for some reason this little thing wasn't working. So anyway, we'll go ahead and zoom in on it. and we'll do the same sort of test, basically zooming in. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this one's a lot smoother than it was on the HTC One S. Let's go ahead and try the same test as far as doing the little 360 view. So I'm going to try to get it in the same angle I was at earlier. So 360 view, not obviously the smoothest, but it is smoother than the One S. I really do feel that way. You know, zooming in and out seems to be a little bit faster. Panning around seems to be a little bit better. I mean, not that big of a difference. Go ahead and show you this one more time. So actually, let's do it both at the same time so you guys can see. Come on. Alright, so you guys can see, I mean, it's not really responding to my multi-touch. I mean, I'm trying to pinch to zoom and it's really skipping on me, where on this guy, you know, it's still skipping, but just not as much. So, I mean, just take that for what it's worth. Anyway, we'll go ahead and back out of here. Now let's go and do the browser test. Actually, no, I'm going to do a quick quadrant standard and on both phones, so that way you guys can see the scores on both. And I am going to actually close out the applications here, so I'm just going to hit remove all. I'm just going to do it this way. I know that sometimes it doesn't close out all the applications, but should be good enough. I mean, we did the same on both phones. So let's go ahead and load up quadrant standard. Quadrant standard, and I'll run the benchmark, and I'll just fast forward through the actual process, so that way you guys could get right to the score. Alright, so both of these guys are done. Let's go ahead and hit yes on both, and we'll show you the score on the HTC One S. So this time I got a 4420, and on the Galaxy S3 I got a got a 4893. So on both devices I didn't really get as high of a score as I usually do, but Galaxy S3 is higher, and you know, typically I am getting higher scores in the Galaxy S3. So that's that, and seems to, you know, pretty much go in line with the performance that we've gotten thus far. Let's go ahead and start the browser test. So we'll load up both browsers, and let's load up a couple of sites. So actually, forgot I loaded this really quick. So I'll go ahead and clear out the history really quick on this guy. Alright, so let's go ahead and load up phonebuff.com on both phones. Alright, so I'll hit go at the same time. So 1, 2, 3. And remember, they're both running on the same Wi-Fi network, so we should, you know, see a nice even test here. Looks like so far the Galaxy, oh, there you go. So that one looked like they finished up about the same time. It looked like the Galaxy S3 was ahead first, and then all of a sudden the HTC One S caught up. Let's go ahead and try another site because that one was too close to call. Actually, I'm just going to load up an article really quick over here. So let's just load up this, we'll do this ESPN article that I did a while ago. So tap it at the same time. So 1, 2, 3. So the content, there you go, it's done. So this time the Galaxy S3 won. It looked like the HTC One S was actually showing the content a little bit before the Galaxy S3 was, but the Galaxy S3, you know, catches up and then actually beats it. Let's go to another site, which is NFL.com. Basically my favorite, or my second favorite website. So NFL.com. What am I doing? There you go, NFL.com. And NFL.com. So 1, 2, 3. Load it up just a little bit faster on the Galaxy S3. Let's go to the bottom and load up the desktop version. So 1, 2, 3. And again, the Galaxy S3 is done, and now the HTC One S is done. So as you guys can see, the Galaxy S3 seems to be about just a second or two faster. It's not that big of a difference, but keep in mind that this guy does have an extra gigabyte of RAM. So when you have all these apps up or open in the background, it's definitely going to make a difference in those situations. And you know, if I were to open up a whole bunch of apps on both phones, I'm sure that the Galaxy S3 would actually, you know, load up the next app a little bit faster than would the HTC One S. But either way, you're going to get a nice, you know, fast performing phone. Honestly, I feel like Samsung's UI is a little bit faster than HTC, but I like HTC's looks a little bit better. So it really, you know, comes down to personal preference. But anyway, that's it from me in this video. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you.